So yesterday we have seen the schemas. So the star schema and the snowflake schema, and our primary objective is that to design the star schema. But always we will not get an opportunity to work with the star schema. Sometimes your data structures, table structures. So you will be associated and you will design the as a snowflake schema. So that is also fine. And always I told you that in the association part, so the Tableau will give preference to the number hold field. So when it associates with the other tables, right? And also I told that the name, unique name between the tables, it would be associated. So what will happen if it is a different column between the tables? Then you can say it's not a problem. You can say this column is equal to this column. You can map that. I will show you today. So first I am taking the orders table. So I bring in order table. So here I have orders. So I drag this order. So this order is having several fields: order ID, customer ID, employee ID, order date, and shipper ID on Friday. On seeing the table itself, you can understand whether this is a fact or the dimension, because which has more IDs, codes, then you can understand, okay, this is a fact table. Normally the transaction tables, so you can see. So any domain if you go, the transaction table if you take, suppose for example, hi Hena, just started.
Hi Shashi, sorry about that, sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
not a problem. So any domain, any applications if you take, there will be definitely one or two fact tables will be there, transactions table. So suppose if you take a bank, so normally banks how it would be, there are different customers, so you have your account number, right, and you have all your address informations, and you do have your credit limit and the credit balance, debit balance, all those things, and you will do transactions. Either you will be withdrawing the money in the ATM, or you will be doing an online shopping, or you will be swiping your debit cards, etc. So these are all the transactions which is accumulated for your account number. So these are all transactions. So if you could go and observe that in your transaction table, the account number, this particular date, so using this machine, he withdraw this money. So probably there what will be there? The ATM codes or the location codes, right? And what type of purchases you made. So it's a debit balance, credit balance. So these kind of some master information, some code related information will be there. Suppose when you go for some the sales related dashboards. So I booked a order. So now in that order, I ordered some products. So that products, if I go and see that code only I pick up. So that code description will be there separately in a product table. So now I order as a numbers, cartoons, packs. So that unit of measurement, description, I will be taking 01, 02, 03. So what is that? So that description will be there in my dimension table. So normally the fact tables will be there, this transaction tables we used to call. Any domain if you say, so there is one or two transaction tables will be there, and it is easy to identify if it has more code columns in that, you can understand that. And dimension table if you see, the code description, active or which date created, which date it is active. So that information will be there. Suppose when you go to the telecommunication domain, so they say the slab rates. So you will be having the units, right? So I spoke 1000 units. So first 250 units. So this is the slab, and 250 to 500 this is the slab, and 500 to 800 this is the slab. So like this the slab varies. So that slabs, so that is again in the master table. So sometimes some announcement has come. So we are going to relax 0 to 250. I am going to change from 0 to 300. So what will happen? This first slab will be inactive from so and so date, and the second new slab will be active from so and so date. So like this will be there in your dimension table. So now when I take this orders table, in this itself you can understand this is a fact table because it has employee ID, shipper ID, and customer ID, right? So now I add another table. So another table. Go here, click this. So Excel, and another table I add.
Shashi, I'm sorry, I got confused about the slabs you were telling about. What is that slabs?
No, no, that is for telecommunication domain. So suppose if you have a landline or if you have a mobile, suppose based on your units how much you spoke. So based on that, so there will be some slabs will be there for the tariff, the rates. That is what I am explaining.
Oh, okay. And I have a question from yesterday's class.
Yes, please.
After I don't know whenever.
So
Remember when you were saying, we can do joins manually?
yeah.
But you didn't explain us how we can do it
No,
manually.
no, no. Today I am showing that. So that's
Oh,
why I'm
okay.
bringing in multiple tables. So now
Right,
here
right, right.
I added orders table first, and then order details I added. So now I drag this. So it both automatically associated. I didn't do anything. So how it is associated? So let me go here and click this and see order ID is there in my order header table, and order ID is there in my order details table. So there are one field order ID which is in both these tables or having the unique name, so it is associated by default. Now I go to the sheet. So this is my,
When you said there one field that is common in between two, order and order detailer.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
And based on that, we will join the two tables.
exactly. Right. So now suppose I want to see this customer ID. So now suppose I come here, this is my sheet. So this sheet I will explain later. So now suppose this order ID. So you see here orders and order details and order details and orders. So this is a dimension and this is your measure. Okay. So now suppose for example I take this order ID. So these are all the orders having. So now what is the quantity for this order? So let me take this. So each and every order, this is my quantity. So this is my quantity 27, 49, 60, 41. Fine. So this order ID is from orders table and this quantity is from order details table. So when it is associated, for me to display the field values from the different table, it is easier. So unless otherwise if it is associated only, I can able to bring it. Suppose for example, you are all there. So your names, enrollment, everything is there in one table. Now there is an examinations conducted and all your marks will be in the another table. Unless otherwise, the student from the student master table and the marks table, the same student name and number, student number is mapped, associated, then only I can take Syed means Syed what is the marks and Henna means Henna's what is the mark. And so that marks, otherwise I will be, if it is not associated, my marks will be mismatched. So I should not do that, right? Unless otherwise if it is associated, my ID to ID, so then only I can display the relevant values from the other tables. Now order ID of your order table and order details table, it is associated, then only I can pick the quantity from the orders detail table. Order ID I pick from the order table and order details table I pick quantity. So then only it shows 10248 means that order we booked 27 quantity. So then if it is associated only it will display. So now I have a customer ID. So this customer ID I drag it here. So who is this customer? 47934. Now I want to display the customer name. So I am going and seeing here in my table. So two tables are there. What are all the fields are there? I am seeing here. There is no customer name. So I wanted to add. So go here and add the customers. So if I am adding this customer, so the customer table has come. So now this customer, again I drag this. So then you can see this, it is, if there is a unique field, then it will automatically associate. Now it is associated. It means what? So now my customer ID of your customers table and customer ID of your orders table having unique name. So you see here customer ID is there and here I have customer ID in the customers table. So it is, both are unique name, it is associated. Now I can take for this customer ID for what is the company name, Dr. Jim Trousers, and 79 and 34 and 1. So I go here. So now for 4, 79, 34, I can take this company name. So automatically I can drag and place this company name. For this 4 means Dr. Jim Trousers, and 79 and 34 and 19. So it says. Now I can even remove this customer ID. I can show for this order ID who is my customer and what is the quantity. So these 3 columns, 3 fields are from 3 different tables. Unless it is auto associated, means not as auto associated, remove the term auto. So unless it is associated, I can display the relevant fields, right? So now coming to the auto association, your question. So now all these tables are having 1 or 2 fields, unique fields. Now what will happen if it doesn't has? So how you will do that? So that is your question. For example, I have an employee ID here. In orders, I have an employee ID. So for this employee ID, I want to display the employee name. I go and see here there is no employee name. So let me bring in the employee master table. Let me bring in employee master table. So here, I bring this here. So now what happened? It is not associated. So not only associated, it hide all the data earlier it was showing. So this is one of the drawbacks, not drawbacks, this is its feature in the dimensional modeling. You should be very careful in that. Initially itself I am saying, because in one of my project we experienced it. So not only it is associated, suppose I am working on multiple tables. So each and every table you should identify already you can see that any unique fields are there, or else you can get the association, get the links. So to which field we are going to associate. So once all your association done, your model is perfect, it is displaying the data. Not only that suffice the needs, because sometimes now your employee ID you are taking, employee ID from the employee details you are taking. So now suppose in this employee master, if I have henna there, then only the henna's marks will be there picking from there. If henna is not there, so then relevant henna's detail I cannot pick, right? So that also you should be careful. Suppose for example, I look for a product marble. So that product I am taking it from the order details. So if marble and marble is same, I am mapping the field. If the field value is not same, then also it will not display the data. So one is your data model associating your field. The next one, internally it goes and checks. So your values also should match. Sometimes if your data is not displaying, you should not be surprised. Immediately you can go and check your value. So we encountered an experience. I will explain you in the next class. So now you see here, it is not associated because it's showing a red exclamation. So then you have to go manually associate. So what is this? Orders table is this side. So right side I have an employee table. Other than employee table, what are all the tables I have? Orders, order details and customers. It says orders, order details and customers. It is trying to match from each and every field of its employee table with any of these fields from this 3 table. It is trying to match. None of the fields are matching. That's why it is showing red exclamation. See here it is going and seeing cust ID. Oh, it is a employee ID is there. Why then it is not matching? You can see here. Here it is a emp ID. If it is a unique name, it is automatically associated. Here it is a emp ID. It goes and checks here. Any emp ID is there or not? No. Here there is an employee ID is there, but it will not assume emp ID is equal to employee ID. You have to tell, right? So in that scenario, you have to tell that. So then I am telling employee ID is equal to emp ID. This is the manual association. And this answers your question. So you go and say that so emp ID is equal to employee ID. Then automatically, sometimes this happens. You should not worry. You have to come back and take this employee ID and emp ID.
You meant to say that if it was alias was EMPID in employee table and it was labeled employee ID fully spelled in the customer table, that's why it was in Lincoln automatically.
Yes, if it is the same name, automatically it will not ask you, it will be associating. If it is a different name,
Okay.
you should go and tell that, okay, this field from this table and this field from this table, though the name is different, but still it is one. So you have to go and say associate it. Then automatically it will be associated. Either it is from the same table, same database, multiple tables, or sometimes your different databases you are bringing in that tables, different tables, that also you can say. Because suppose you are a database administrator for one database, I am a database administrator for another database. It doesn't mean that the convention, standard convention which we are going to adopt is not one and the same. Suppose your practice is that you will create the employee ID as EMP code and I will create as EMP CD, and suppose Syed creates as employee ID and Hena creates as a EMP ID. So like this, each and every one, they are having their own standard conventions of creating their fields, right? Field names. So because either it is from the same tables. Now, for example, this database is established in the system. So now initially there are 10 tables were there. Now going forward, some new tables are added. So that time, so there is no standard conventions being followed. So they created on their own site, right? So that also possible, but it should not break your association at any point of time. So you can go pick the column. So say this is a EMP code and this is a EMP CD. So no worries, this both are one and the same. So you are informing it. So automatically it is associating. So now once it
So
is associated, yeah.
Shashi,
so
can you repeat that one last step again, where you change the name, or you just right click and
No.
pick
I
the
didn't change
column?
the name. You see here. So I am trying to bring this.
Right click.
Right. So when I try to
Employee.
bring this,
Yeah.
so initially it doesn't know, because here you see
Right.
the employee, it is a EMP ID. It goes and checks each and every field. It takes first employee ID and it goes and checks here, any of my field is matching or not. So it is not matching. And again it takes extension and it goes and checks any of the fields are matching or not. So like this, each and every field it goes and checks with the other three tables of my model. Nothing is matching. So then it shows a red exclamation. So I don't have any fields to match. So now it is your turn. You need to go and associate it, saying this is an employee ID from your order table and this is a emp ID from your order in your employee table is one and the same. You have to go mention that. That's all.
okay, so Shashi, this schema that you did is that a let's say, could that be classified as a star schema?
Yes, star schema. Because you see here, order table is there and it is surrounded with all these three tables. If I place this,
Okay, so is there any of these table like
this
as serve
order,
as a master table?
sorry.
Is any of this table serve as a master table? Let's just say, that has
Obviously.
every information.
So here this customer and the employee, these two are master tables. It is a dimension.
Master table, okay.
And order and order
Okay.
details is your fact tables.
Fact table, okay.
Yes. So customer and
Okay.
employee table is your master table, because the code here in orders, for this code I wanted the name. So I have a customer ID, but what is my customer name? I will get it from here only. I have an employee ID, but for the employee ID I need additional information. What is his name? So I will get it from here. So now you can see here.
Okay.
So I took this employee ID, which is there from my order table, which is a fact. But I want the name of my employee. So for that I associated employee table, that is a dimension, and I have the first name and last name. So let me bring this here, first name. So 2 means it is Eric, 7 means it is Tom, and 5 means it is Ingrid, and 3 means it is Rob. This is the first names. I want the last name also. So you can.
So employee table is dimension table?
Sorry, Hena. Employee
table is dimension.
Employee is a dimension table and customer is a dimension table.
And the reason the dimension, because we're pulling the values which are dimensions.
No, it is not because of I am pulling the data from there. No, it is not the case. You see, whenever you see a database, I already in last 2 classes also I was telling, only you should approach the tables as two tables. One is your dimension, the other one is the fact. The fact is always a transaction table, and dimension is always your master tables. Master table means what? You will have a code and name, or ID or description. Code, name and descriptions. So will be there. In addition, you will have some other information, whether it is active or it is effective from effective to date, or it is created date, approved date, some other details will be there, right? So master means it is your static value. Suppose for example, I have an employee. I have 1000 employees. Always my employee master will be 1000. Suppose next week or next month some new employees join, some 5 employees join, 1000 becomes 1005. In that 1005 some attrition happened, 4 people left, so it becomes 1005 minus of 4, 1001. So only that much information. But transaction table is the one, every day you will have transactions, right? Every day you will have transactions, so that is called as your fact tables. So now in these fact tables, how your dimension is associated. Now for example, so in my fact, for example, let us go to the sales domain. So in that domain, what happens? Some sales is happening, right? Sales means what? Some products they are going to deliver, dispatch. Okay. So the products who is going to buy, some customers will go, come and buy. Fine. So whether he is an existing customer or he is a new customer, so that is a different topic. So some customer is buying. So who brought this customer? Some employee from my company. So he may be a sales rep. Okay. So what he bought? Some product he bought, right? So in a table, normally, if you go to the RDBMS also, I want to store all the information in one table, I can do that. So why we wanted to go for two tables? Let me have everything in one table, you can do that. But for the performance sake, they split one table into 2, 3, 4, 5. It is organized now. Now for example, so you have an apartment. There is a 4-story building you have. So every story you have 5 flats are there. So in my 4-story, I have 5 into 4, 20 flats are there. So if I want to keep a common entrance for all the 20 flats, I can keep it. And the ground floor, the left hand side, I will keep everyone, you please go from here. No, I don't want to go. Each and every you split it and give me an entrance for each and every flat. It would be easier for convenient in handling, etc. So you are doing it. So the similar way, I wanted to store all the information in one table, I can do that, but we are not doing it. As per the normalization, if you go to the RDBMS, as per the normalization, so I will be splitting. So I split one table, suppose master related, where my frequency of updation is very less, that I keep it separate as a master. Suppose a sales rep. So today I have 200 sales reps. So because every day 5, 10 sales reps will not be joining, right? The frequency will be very less. Maybe 1 month once or 1 week once. So some may go out, some may come in. So that frequency is very less. So that table separately. Now products. So I prepare some product master. So these are all the products. So suppose you are setting up a stationery shop. So now in this stationery shop, so along with you, some 4 people are working. So 5 people. So 5 employees are there for your stationeries. And how much product? 100 products you kept in the stationery. So that product catalog I wanted to keep. So then the transaction, every day the client visits you and buys something and going. So this purchase, suppose Sashi Kumar today he bought, he is asking that product, you may give it for $10. Tomorrow you may give it for $10.25. So that varies. Selling price may vary. But the transaction, so now today I come, I buy 2 products from you, right? So I am a customer, I come here and I took the product from you. But the product is 100 products. That is a master table. Which product? Sub 62. What is the name of the 62? That is there in the product master table. But in my bill, I will not give everything. In my transaction table, I will not give 62 and this is the product description and all the details I will not give in one table. So I split for my convenient handling. I split into multiple tables, but the splitting I keep an association based on my key columns. So the product code means I will keep a product code in my transaction table and the product code in my master table, so that the description if I require I will take from the master table. If I don't require, it's fine. I keep only the code, right? So that is how the RDBMS was designed. The same we are following here, because for us the data is provided by the database RDBMS, right? Structured data. Structured data means this is what structured, right? So I see the database tables into two types. One is fact, another is a master. So now I am setting up a stationery. So here I have 5 employees. So 5 employee master, and 100 products. So 100 products, that is a master. And I have some suppliers, that suppose 10 suppliers. This 100 products I bought from 10 suppliers. For me, they are the customers. So that 10 suppliers details will be there in the supplier master. And for me, daily walk-in customers are there. So she walked in once in a while and he bought some product. But there is one frequent buyer, so who walks into my store every day, and he is a permanent customer for me, right? So these are all the customer master information. Now the transaction. So today I open my shop. So 100 transaction happened for the day. So 100 products sold, right? So that is the transaction. So the serial number 1, the product number 62. Description will not be there. How much quantity? 2, 3. What is the rate? 10.5. 3 into 10.5. So 31.5. So this is my transaction table. But in that transaction table, the product code 62 is there. But for my billing sake, I will not add the description also in my transaction table. So this 62, the description for this product name, I will refer from the product master. Who sold it? My employee 2. So she only explained all these product details to the customer who walked in. So I wanted to tag the my employee, my sales rep, who sold that product to the customer. So it is 04. What is 04? So that name will be there in the employee master. So like this, for our easier handling, convenient handling, so we approach tables into two tables, fact and the dimension. So you should be very clear. Dimension means, close your eyes, master tables. My code description. In addition, you will have other information. For example, Sashi, you told only 2 or 3 columns will be there, but my customer table is having so many columns are there. It can be, but the code for that relevant description, maybe the customer, which city it is located, he is located. So you can go and take from the customer, which state he belongs to, or what is his mobile number. So you can get it from the customer master. What is his email ID? You can get it from the customer master. Got it? Now hope you are clear with what is fact table, what is dimension table. Correct? Now this association. So now the product, suppose for example, today Syed designed these tables. Fine. So this employee table, this product table, and this transaction table, everything Syed designed. So now tomorrow I am coming in. So I don't know what practice Syed followed. So tomorrow I say that the supplier master, I create it is there as a supplier code. In my transaction table I wanted to add that. So I add as supplier CD. But Syed created the supplier master as supplier code, CODE. But I created here CD. So now what happens? So when I drag the supplier master here, it is not associating. Why? Because there it is a supplier code, here it is a supplier CD. So either if you wanted to rename it, you can rename and make it auto-associated, or else it is not stopping you. You can go here and click on this and say supplier CD is equal to supplier code. Then it automatically associates, provided your value should match. So inside that, suppose supplier code 1 means here I should have the same one. So then only it displays the data, otherwise it will not display. Though it is associated, if the data values are also not matching, it will not display. Okay, that is also the next concern. So now are you clear in the association, how we are associating the dimension with your facts, and how this star schema and the snowflake schema is established in the model? Now, so another one
Yes.
table. So I will still add, suppose here, so this employee, first name and last name has come, fine. So now this product is there. So what product I sold? So let me go here in the order details. I have the product. So let me take this product. So this product code I wanted. What is this product? 11, 42, 72, all these are there. So now I want to see the code of this name 11, 42, 72. What is the name of this? So then I go back and add the product master. So go and take this product master. Right, it has come. So now I bring this product. So now you see here the product, it is not mandated that product should associated with orders. It can associate with the order detail also, because in order details it is having a product ID. So what I told you, whenever you are adding a table, this particular fields, all these fields, it will go and check what all the tables are there in the data model. And as I told you, the preference will be given to the number decimal, number whole. So it goes and checks ID columns. So ID columns, that it is here product ID in order details. So it associated automatically. So the product ID of your order details and product ID of your products table is associated now. Got it? So now another one table I add. So now I have a shippers table. So let me add this shippers table. Now I will show you another explanation I will give. So now shippers table is here. Right. So now I drag this shippers table. So it is associated with my order table. The shippers table is associated with my orders table. So now you see here shipper ID of my orders here and shipper ID of my shippers table is associated. But you see here there is one company name is there. So in your data model, any of your tables is having company name. So yes. So where? So you can see in the customer I have a company name, and here also I have a company name. So why it is not associated? Company name of your shipper table and company name of your customer table, why it is not associated? Why? Because I told you it will give preference to your number whole. If it is not there, then it will go unchecked. So now it is already having a shipper ID, right? Shipper ID. So it is associated. So this is you have to. But in other reporting tools, so it will add. So if you go for a click view and all, it will form a circular references. It will form a synthetic table. So here it is very carefully designed. So it will give preference to your number whole. It will associate first. And suppose for example, I can do that. If you want to change, you can do that. I say, no, you go here, go associate with this company name. So go here. So automatically my association shifts from this order table to the company table. Now you see I don't see any data. Why? I told you one thing, right? So you are not only your field name should associate, your values also should associate. This customer is totally different. Shipper is totally different. Customer is what? Who is going to get the product from you? Shipper is the one, is a transporter. So whatever the products bought from by the customer, this guy is going to load and unload in the customer place, right? I cannot be. So here it may be a ABC customer he bought, that way that may be a XYZ transporter. So how ABC and XYZ will be matching? It will not, right? So that's why it is not displaying any values here. So not only your name, if your values are also not same, it will not display any of the values in your reports. Here there will not be any error, but in the reports I will not be seeing any data. That time you should not be surprised, hey, what happened, my data is not displaying, my model is perfect, why my data is not displayed? Because we encountered a practical scenario. So last year, April, so we were into one deployment. So there were around 22 tables were there. Okay, so till UAT, so all these 22 tables were refreshed with 4 country data actually. So it is an insurance project, and we were having around 26 country data. So first migration, so earlier during our development till the system testing and the UAT testing, we were working on some 4 country data, and everything is fine, and UAT sign off we received, and one fine day they were into the production deployment. That time they loaded 10 country data. Okay, 10 country data. Unfortunately, whatever the 4 country data they were testing till UAT, that 4 country was not their part of the 10 countries. Okay, so fine, because it was lastly decided. So we will go by portions. First we'll go for 10 countries, and then next we go for some 7-8 countries, and then next we'll go for 8, because all 26 countries, if you are loading, it will take a long time. So that's why what they decided, let us go in the portions. So first we'll load 10 countries. So in that they have taken some proportion. Some 2-3 countries they will take large volume, and 2-3 countries they will take a medium volume. So that's what they decided based on the counts of the data in the particular tables. So accordingly they decided that the deployment team they decide. So now what happened? There also one small mistake happened. 16 TDs, 16 tables were populated with the 10 country data, and the last 6 tables they forgot to refresh that with the new data. It is still pointing to the 6 tables, last 6 tables pointing to your old UAT data. Means the country is totally different. So total 22 tables are there. 16 tables are populated with the 10 country data, and 6 tables are still pointing to the 4 country data. That 4 country is not at all in this 10 country. So now, so what happened? So they refreshed, and Monday morning client comes to the office and they didn't see deployment is over. All 10 countries, they say that 10 country data are displayed, populated, and then when they come and see, nothing is displayed in the dashboard. Then they were breaking their head like anything. Oh, how? So we did this, we did this. Then it comes to our architect and we were analyzing. So, and each and every table when we took that, and finally we find out the 6 tables were having 4 countries and the rest 16 tables. But association model, everything is perfect. There is no errors in that. But the data, because this is pointing to some UAE and Canada data, and that is of some EMEA region data. So after that, so this 6 tables we loaded with the 10 country data, and automatically the reports were displayed. So you should be very careful because this is a dimensional modeling. If Sashi here and there SASI is here, if it is a SASHI, then it will not associate. How it can match SASI and SASHI same? No, right? So it will not display. So you should be very careful with the value. When you work on migration projects, you should be very careful. That I will be giving you assignments. So that time I will explain you in detail. Okay, so in the association model, so if it is having a unique name, when you are bringing in multiple tables, association makes your life easier. If it is having different names, then you still go and select this name is equal to this name, then association automatically established. So now in this case, no need to worry. So go here and take this shipper ID. So then this association is disconnected, and go here and take this shipper ID. Automatically it moves from here to here. Okay, so now the data is displayed. So this is the way we do the association in Tableau. So clear?
Yes. And does the color have any relevance to how the tables are being, connected? Like, how you see the order has different color, customer has different employee and order details.
Sorry.
I said, does the color coding on the table, does it mean anything?
Oh, you meant to say this red and orange and blue?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, each table will be showing in a different colors. So that suppose this is in blue and this is in light green and red and orange, because each and every table so will be showing in different colors. That will not make any differences here. So just to distinguish
Okay,
the table,
okay,
that's all.
okay, all right, okay.
So this idea is, so you are connecting to the database and you are bringing in multiple tables from the same database. Tomorrow I will explain, suppose you connect to 2 different data sources, then how you will associate. Because if it is from one database, you are picking multiple tables, this is called as joins. Here whatever the association, this is your join, inner join, left join, right? So when you associate, when you are bringing in the tables from multiple different data bases, different data sources, then it is called as blending, data blending. If it is from the same database, multiple tables, then it is a joins. If suppose the same, if it is from different data sources and different tables, if you are associating, then it is called as data blending. So tomorrow I will explain that. And once you create association is perfect, then immediately you need to go and create a extract for this. Extract, extract is a compressed data file, right? So compressed data file, how to create that? So just you can go here extract data. So this is your data source, and also that I will explain you once I explain this complete visualization page. So we are in the data source. So now in this data source, so we associated multiple tables here. Click on this add, you can associate multiple tables. So this comes to an end for this data source page. So tomorrow I will explain about the visualization page. So in the visualization, so whatever the tables are here, how many tables? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tables you have. In this, which are all the dimensions? So customer is a dimension, employee is a dimension, shipper is a dimension, and product is a dimension, right? And orders, this is a fact table, and order details also a partially it is fact because I have one product code. That's why. If suppose I have a unit of measurement, then if I bring in the UOM and this UOM will be associated with this order details, then it is a perfect fact table. Okay. So this is the way we associate. Okay. So now coming to this visualization page. So in this visualization page, we have, so this left
Shashi, you
hand side.
said extract is a compressed data source.
Yes, yes. Compressed data set, not the source.
Yeah, data set.
Yes. So data set, the compressed data set is called as Tableau data extract. TDE we used to call. In short terms, we used to call this as TDE. Okay, that I will be explaining in tomorrow's class. Now I am saving this file. So suppose I am saving this. So I can save this as two formats. So one is as a Tableau workbook TWB, and the another one is a Tableau packaged workbook TWBX, right? So now if I am saving as a TWB, you can see this Tableau symbol will be there, and you see the size, it is 85 KB, right? And when I am saving this as a Tableau workbook and save this, and you can go and see the size of it. Your, see here, this is 85 and this is 177, and the color also you see here, this is a plain Tableau icon. Here I have a brown, light brown color strip is there. So what is the difference? This is a TWB, Tableau workbook, and this is a TWBX, packaged workbook. Means, so I have a Tableau workbook and I bundle data within it, package data within it. So if it is without data, it is a TWB. With data, it is a TWBX, packaged workbook. So it needs some space for the size. It increases the size if you package the data. That's why if you are not packaging, if you plain blank workbook, your template, then it is a TWB, its size is 85. And if you are packing along with the data, whatever the data you brought in, right, 7 tables data, then it is of packaged workbook and 177. You can carry this anywhere. If you don't have, you are not taking that 7 Excel sheet along with you, you can take this to any of your system, you can show the data because that data is already packaged in your workbook. But if I am carrying this, if I don't
So you
have
mean
the,
data is going to run at any platform?
sorry, Hina?
So you mean data is going to run at any platform?
Yes, not platform. Platform in the sense operating system you used to say. In Windows, any platform it will run. Windows 7 or Windows 98 or Windows XP. So anywhere it runs. So if you are preparing your TWBX and if you are sending me, I can open and see. But if you are sending your TWB to me, if you are not sending your data files to me, then I cannot open. I cannot view the data. I can see, yeah, she developed some screen, but I cannot see the data because you didn't send me the data. Because the data is pointing only in your machine, but in the packaged one, you are bundling the data along with the workbook. So if you send me the
Okay,
TWB,
okay, yeah, I got it.
so I can view
Yeah.
the data, I can view the screen with the data, I can view the dashboard with the data. Suppose you are traveling, so you designed your dashboards, you are traveling to your client place. So there you will not have your network established to your company. Suppose you are in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So your company network is there and you developed your dashboard. Now tomorrow I am traveling to my client place, some Maine, and there I don't have networks, but I want to show the dashboard demo. So I know that definitely I cannot connect to my network. So I take it as a TWBX. So it is packaged with my data. So I can show the demo to the client, because definitely the client expects your demo with some data, right? So I can package my data along with my workbook and I can display that. So this is the difference between TWB and TWBX. Okay, so we'll stop here. So tomorrow I will explain you the visualization workspace